So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
Now, the media powerhouse No Jumper, a hip-hop platform run by internet personality and podcaster Adam22, is officially going broke. This was confirmed just a few days ago by the CEO of No Jumper himself. How could such an influential platform, one that was once pulling in hundreds of millions of views monthly, spiral into a decline like this? And that's a very good question. So in this video, I want to break it all down as I sip on this blueberry tea. Guys, never kill yourself, okay? It can really be this good, blueberry tea, okay? Adam Graham Mason, professionally known as Adam22, is a well-known podcaster and YouTuber who built a massive online presence through his hip-hop platform No Jumper. No Jumper has been one of the most talked about platforms in hip-hop in recent years, and Adam22 has become a media personality in his own right. But before all that, back in the early 2000s, Adam was just a BMX fan from Nashua, New Hampshire. After graduating from Nashua High School in 2001, he started a BMX-focused website in 2006 called The Come Up, which became one of the top BMX sites at the time. Years later, he shifted away from the BMX world, driven by his growing interest in rap, and connected with writer George Potter to help finance a hip-hop blog Potter had started called No Jumper. The blog launched in 2011, with Potter handling the writing and vision, and Adam22 covering the costs. But with no formal agreement in place, Adam eventually took full control of the brand, quietly phasing Potter out of the picture. As time went on, Adam22 moved to Los Angeles, where the BMX scene was bigger. But it was the hip-hop culture that truly pulled him in. He began interviewing underground rappers, building a reputation for spotting talent early, and giving a platform to names that mainstream media ignored. From SoundCloud artists to street rappers with little exposure, Adam carved out a lane that nobody else was really in at the time. What started as a blog became something bigger. No Jumper evolved into one of the most influential platforms in hip-hop media, and Adam22 became a central figure in the rise of rap interviews on YouTube. He was becoming part of their come-up stories. XXXTentacion, 6ix9ine, Juice WRLD, many of them passed through the No Jumper studio early on in their careers, and with each viral moment, Adam's profile grew. Regardless of how the early days of No Jumper started, what's clear is that No Jumper eventually grew into something very massive. However, years after dominating YouTube and building a massive presence in hip-hop media, No Jumper is now facing a financial storm, and Adam22 just went public with it. In a recent video, Adam laid it all out.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit.
After an extremely rapid expansion of the media powerhouse during the pandemic, the company's revenue ended up severely plummeting. Among many things, the platform randomly lost its Instagram account, an account they'd built up for nearly a decade with no strikes or warnings. One day it was gone, no explanation. That alone was a major blow to their brand reach. But that wasn't the only problem. At the same time, Adam had overhired staff and spent almost $4 million on a massive building for the business in Los Angeles. With revenue falling and expenses stacking up, the operation started to spiral out of control.
We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue.
The overhead became too much to handle. Layoffs started hitting, the No Jumper store in LA shut down, and now they're looking to sell the building just to recover financially. Adam admitted he made mistakes, saying he could have taken notes from someone like DJ Vlad and kept his overhead way lower, especially when it came to staff and location expenses. He's still optimistic about No Jumper's future though, saying that once they sell the building, things should stabilize financially.
I'm confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again as a business.
But that's not the end of it. No Jumper is also dealing with a lot of legal pressure. A former employee of the company is claiming workplace misconduct. Adam called the whole thing an extortion attempt and says it'll likely cost the company hundreds of thousands just to deal with it.
And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but
the No Jumper brand originally built its identity around discovering new talent and shining a light on underground artists in hip-hop. That was Adam22's main focus, driven by his genuine interest in rap culture, and for a while, it worked. No Jumper became one of the most successful hip-hop platforms on the internet, but in later years, the platform slowly started drifting away from what made it special. As time went on, No Jumper introduced more content outside of the music, most notably interviews with adult film stars. This seemed like an attempt to cross-promote Adam22's other business ventures, like the Plug Talk platform he runs with his wife, Lena. But that shift didn't sit right with everyone. The original audience, aka the people who came for the music and culture, started losing interest. Many felt like the platform had lost touch with what made it blow up in the first place. A big part of why No Jumper became so popular early on was because of its strong connection to the SoundCloud era. They were interviewing the rising stars of that wave when no one else was. Young people who grew up on that scene were tuning in religiously to see content from their favorite underground artists. And slowly over time, those original values stopped being the focal point of the platform. And that's been one of the biggest points of criticism from longtime No Jumper fans. The ones who came up on No Jumper when it still felt raw and authentic. In the early days, No Jumper had a lot of organic, unfiltered content and conversations, but as time went on, it started to feel more corporate, like they were just checking boxes to hit quotas. It's something Adam22 is most likely aware of. The brand today feels diluted compared to what it used to be, and that's likely a big reason why they're now seeing all these budget cuts. On top of that, there's been a lot of drama, both behind the scenes and right in front of the audience. Some of the most beloved people who helped build No Jumper from the ground up in the early days eventually stopped working with the company. One example is Housephone, an early host who had a major falling out with Adam22.
You are so worried about looking like a bad friend that you are not you're so worried about looking like a bad friend versus actually being a bad friend.
The breaking point in their relationship came when Adam22 allegedly exposed personal information about Housephone's private life, something that many, including Housephone himself, saw as betrayal.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all-
funeral as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened just because.
Which eventually led to Housephone, throwing water right at Adam live on video. That moment went viral, and it was just one of the many stories where the attention shifted away from the artist towards the internal mess. Over time, No Jumper became less about hip-hop and more about gossip, and Adam22 himself became the center of the drama. To his credit, Adam has stood his ground on many of these situations, often claiming the truth isn't what the public assumes. But in the court of public opinion, most of the audience hasn't sided with him. The No Jumper brand also started including adult film stars in their content more and more, blurring the lines between Adam's personal life and the platform's original purpose. That shift took things in a very different direction. And of course, Adam did this, as a way to build another business outside of the No Jumper brand, which is of course Plug Talk, which, Adam runs with his wife, Lena the Plug. From a business standpoint, obviously that's very smart. And Adam is reportedly making more of a profit on that business, since it's just him and Lena splitting that revenue, right? So make no mistake, Adam22 isn't going broke personally, but No Jumper, that's a different story. The platform has taken a massive hit. It just doesn't resonate with the same audience that once built it up. In fact, a lot of the day one supporters started falling off, especially after that viral moment with him and his wife.
So you go on the honeymoon, you celebrate the wedding, now you're legally connected for life, you're back, you have the conversation. Was it your idea or yours?
It was my idea.
Yeah,
That moment put a spotlight on Adam's personal life in a way that changed how people looked at the brand. And the truth is, running a media platform as big as No Jumper is no easy task. And speaking as someone who's been in this space since 2017, I've noticed something. People are just more drawn to personalities than, corporate style content, which is why a lot of these super big hip hop, platforms and stuff like that aren't personalities just aren't really doing that well, right? And for No Jumper, over time, it started to feel more like a machine than an organic movement. That's why even with all the controversy, someone like DJ Academics has stayed at the forefront. His brand is built around him. People either love him or hate him, but they care enough to tune in. I've seen a lot of people, come and go in this space, and if I could give one piece of advice, it would be to build something that's actually real, something that people really care about. That's just real and authentic. And that's the difference between views versus legacy. In the end, I think the No Jumper brand is going to be able to recover. However, that entirely depends on the direction Adam22 takes the company in. Is the No Jumper brand going to be able to recover, or is the company going to go all the way down like Titanic? What do you guys think? Any thoughts on Adam22's empire? No Jumper apparently going broke. Kind of crazy, but Adam22 said it. He said the company is going broke, right? If you're new here, my name is Blacky Speaks. Nice to meet you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for subscribing if you're new here, and welcome to the family. We obviously got plenty of room, but you guys let me know what you guys think about this topic. Curious to hear what you guys have to say. I'll catch you guys on the in the comment section below, but most importantly of all, catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.